Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. First news we got this week are the new jewels designed especially for traps, so there weren't any unique jewels especially for traps, so there will be 4 of them with the upcoming expansion. However, we get to see only 3 of those. First one is cheap construction of Iridian Jewel, reducing the trap duration, however allowing you to have 1 additional trap placed at a time, which might be good if you want to stack more traps on top of each other, although the reduced trap duration might even make it for an instant detonation build. We'll see about that. Second one is Air Trigger Iridian Jewel, giving increased trap damage, but more important, the 23% increased trap trigger radius. I guess there's going to be a range like 20 to 25 on the trap trigger radius, and the trigger radius is really good for trappers. Having a bigger radius makes trapper builds feel much more enjoyable to play, so this is definitely a jewel I would use if I were to play a trapper. And the third one is Unstable Payload, a cobalt jewel, increasing the chance for traps to trigger an additional time by 10% for each jewel you put. So if you're using something like Cluster Trap, there's almost always going to be one of the traps that explodes 2 times. So that's another interesting jewel that might be good. The fourth trap, I think, which is not here, is the Reduced Cooldown, which basically increases your trap regeneration rate, and it's going to definitely be really good for those builds who uses a single trap. Like for example, you do not go like Elemental Equilibrium, maybe you go Crit, you go Ice Trap, Cluster Trap, and just use that in a 6 link. That's gonna be good for both for cleaving and for bosses. So a trap reduced cooldown is definitely going to be really good for that. But in other news, we got a new skill, and it's an Ancestral Protector, and it's a totem. So this is a project, let's call it like that, by GGG to actually buff melee characters. So you place the Ancestral Totem, and it's basically something like the spirit from Haku missions, you know, with, as you can see right here, he appears, he's got your own weapon, he deals damage from your own stats, although he's got quite the attack speed and a very much increased range. Although it's really not very far, it's probably around this radius here, it's definitely longer than your basic character range. It's a single target, so you will have to put a melee splash if you want to use it, and you can see it in action in the video. It's slamming pretty fast. Also, while your character is near it, you will apparently get more attack speed, although we didn't get to get the chance to take a look at the jewel itself, at the gem itself, so we do not know exactly what it does. Also, it works only when you are near it, so it's definitely a totem that you pair with your melee build, and it might look good for a cast when damage taken build. We'll see about that. It's definitely something that you can use, and it definitely works well with the new class, the new ascendancy class that has been revealed soon after the video, which is the Chieftain. As we can see from our usual image, the Chieftain is a Marauder ascendancy, the last of the Marauder ascendancies. It's basically focused on totems, although it goes also for an hybrid between totem and melees. So the only 2-point path in this tree leads to the first strength, which gives you armor, elemental resistances, reduces mana cost of skills, and increases strength. This might be good for an Iron Will character. Also, the reduced mana cost of skills is going to be pretty good, because totems generally in a 6 link require a lot of mana. But let's take a look at the 2, or rather 3 4-point paths we got. First one on the bottom, which seems to be the strongest one apparently on the chart. First point is Moon's Presence, where enemies near your totem deals 8% reduced damage, which means all damage. It's not specific to attacks, it's not specific to physical, so that's already really strong. Also, your totems deals 15% or 16% more physical and fire damage to enemies near your totem, so that's also really strong. Leading up to War's Herald, where totems are immune to fire damage, have 50% of your armor, Skills used by totem have a chance to taunt on hit, and totems deal 8% of their maximum life as fire damage to nearby enemies when hit. So this is what's everyone talking about at the moment, because totems are immune to fire damage means righteous fire totems will not degenerate and will be alive as long as the totem duration is going. So this is definitely going to be one of the strongest classes to level up with and to start the league. I'm expecting a lot of players to go with this class. I myself am probably going to play a dual righteous fire totem build because it's just awesome that totems do not regenerate, and with the area righteous fire can get now, it's also going to be really good. However, the other points are Flames Advance with a chance to ignite and increase damage against burning enemies, so leading for a fire, maybe physical, but definitely going for the burn damage there. Up it goes into Death Fury, where you regenerate, or rather you leech 1% of the fire damage. You penetrate fire resistance, you gain extra fire damage as physical damage if you've killed in the past 4 seconds. So this goes in a kind of fast clearing build. Probably with Avatar of Fire it's gonna be really good, as you can leech some of the damage, also penetrating damage, so that's going to be really strong. The other point is Sun's Light, giving you life regeneration per endurance charge. It's actually a lot of life regeneration if you got like 7 endurance charges, so that's pretty good. And when you or your totems kill a burning enemy, you have a chance to gaining endurance charges, so you are not required to actually cast Enduring Cry every single pack, which also makes it for a much fluid gameplay, I guess. So yeah, this is definitely a very interesting class, very strong, especially for the War Zevald, I guess. Definitely going to be a very used class, especially at the beginning. And now the only class that remains is the Scion, so we can expect hopefully next week to have the Scion revealed, also because it's now less than 2 weeks until the ascendancy hits, so hopefully you've completed your own challenges in the current league, in the talisman leagues. If you haven't, well, there's still some time. Other than that, I guess that was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host, Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.